Welcome to Mindful Leadership, Transforming Lives, with your host, Singh. This is where leadership meets purpose, presence, and passion. In today's fast-paced, high-pressure world, we face a leadership crisis. Too often, teams are led by managers who lack empathy, clarity, and vision, leaving individuals uninspired, disconnected, and undervalued. But it doesn't have to be this way. Great leadership isn't born, it's built. The end game: empower your leadership, inspire the world. Every week, join me, your host Singh, as we tackle the gaps in leadership and life coaching head on, learning how mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and compassion can redefine success. This isn't just another podcast, it's a mission to fill the void left by ineffective leadership. And it's not just about leadership in business. Life coaching for leaders and new executives is at heart of this journey. Ready to rise above the noise and lead with clarity, purpose, and impact? Join a global movement dedicated to reshaping the future of leadership one mindful moment at a time. Let's begin.
Welcome back to the show. Today, we are diving into the fine art of planning. And no, I'm not talking about the kind of plan you make while procrastinating on a Sunday night. This is the week I wake up at 5 a.m., drink green juice, read three self help books before work, only for Monday to roll around and you're hitting snooze like it's a competitive sport. We have all been there. No. Today, we are talking about real plans, the kind that take you from dreaming big to actually making it happen. Because scrolling Pinterest for vision board ideas doesn't count as progress. If it did, I would have my beach house in Malibu by now, and instead, I'm trying to figure out why my Wi Fi keeps cutting out on me. Yes, it has been a bad day on Wi Fi for me. Anyway, welcome back to another show. I'm your host, Singh, and you're listening to Mindful Leadership Transforming Lives on the Transformation Network. Today's theme: big dreams need small steps because progress beats perfection every single time. Now, before we get started, a quick public announcement. I have received a few emails and DMs. Just to clarify, yes, podcast and LinkedIn is the easiest way to get hold of me. You can also get hold of me on singleadership.com. And yes, we do provide both individual and group coaching sessions, small half day session, all the way to 14-week programs. You can get all those details on singleadership.com. Let's get started. Last week, we talked about clearing the fog with strategic thinking because planning without clarity is like driving through a snowstorm without windshield wipers, just guessing and hoping for the best, which is also how TSA seems to handle my luggage every time I fly. But today, we are going to go deeper. We are getting into the nitty gritty of how to plan for short term wins while keeping your eye on the long game. Life is basically a never ending game of Mario Kart. Sure, you are trying to win the race, but sometimes you just need to dodge the banana peels right in front of you. Speaking of planning, did you hear about the guy who just set the world record for the longest time spent living underwater? That's right, he spent 100 days in a tiny underwater pod. Now that's commitment to plan. Me, I can barely commit to a 30-day workout challenge without finding myself in the Taco Bell drive through on day three. But here's the thing: whether you're living underwater or just trying to get through your to do list, it all comes down to same principle. Start small, stay consistent, and don't let the big picture freak you out. Although the big picture is where you should start with. So think of this episode as your GPS for success. We will map out the big picture, zoom in on the turn by turn direction, and make sure you actually know what recalculating means before you hit the dead end. Hey, if you are one of those people who can't follow Google Maps without missing a turn, don't worry. This plan is foolproof, probably. So let's get started. Let's tackle the big picture first. Why do planning matter? Because without a plan, we are all just squirrels on caffeine, running in circles, busy but not productive. And let's be honest, if you have ever been a squirrel paused mind run to look confused, that's me trying to remember why I walked into the kitchen. Without a plan, even your best intentions turn into chaos. And here's the truth: a plan isn't just a to do list. If it were, My to do app wouldn't have 47 overdue tasks staring at me like an angry ex. A real plan is your bridge between dreaming and doing. It's what takes your big, ambitious goal, like I am going to start a business, and breaks it down so it doesn't feel like trying to eat an entire Costco sized cheesecake in one sitting. Tempting, but not sustainable. So let's get real. Planning is like going to grocery store without a list. You walk in thinking, I just grab a few things, and next thing you know, you're leaving with a rotisserie chicken, bag of Doritos, 12 candles you absolutely didn't need. And somehow you forgot the eggs and the milk that you were there for. Does that happen? Plan keeps you focused, even when life throws aisle 10 distractions at you, like a sale on waffles or that free sample lady handing out tiny cheese cubes. You know what I'm talking about. Or better yet, think about Black Friday shopping. Without a plan, you're just wandering around the store, dodging elbows and trying to figure out if you actually need a discounted air fryer. A plan is what gets you in, gets you what you need, and gets you out before you lose your mind or your wallet. And speaking of plans, have you seen the news about all the billionaires racing to build their own private island? Apparently, having a yacht isn't enough anymore. You need an entire island. And while, sure, that's a big plan, here's the thing. None of these guys woke up one day and said, I think I will just buy an island. You know, they had spreadsheets, meetings, and probably a PowerPoint deck titled Island Domination 101. Big dreams don't just happen, they are planned. Now, you might not be building your own island, but maybe you're trying to start a side hustle, save for a house, or just get through the week without losing your mind. Whatever your goal is, it starts with a plan. And I'm here to help you create one that actually works without needing a billionaire's bank account or a team of consultants. Planning is about balance. You need a vision for the long term, something big enough to inspire you, like I want to run a marathon or I want to retire early and travel the world. But you also need to deal with what's right in front of you. Like today, I just need to run 1 mile without feeling like I am by chased by a bear. It's one or the other, it's both. Think big, but start small. So here's a quick exercise for you. Take a moment and think about one big dream, a one big dream you have been sitting on. Maybe it's starting a business, writing a book, or finally tackling that pile of laundry that's threatened to become sentient. Got it? Okay. Now ask yourself, what is one small step you could take toward that dream today? Just one. Maybe it's just writing a simple paragraph, Googling how to start a business, or I don't know, throwing one sock in the laundry basket, whatever it is, write it down because a plan starts with action and the action starts small. And listen, I get it. Planning can feel overwhelming. It's like assembling IKEA furniture. You start with high hopes, then you are 3 hours in, holding 5 screws you swear the instructions didn't mention, and questioning all your life choices. But here's the thing, even if you mess up, you are still further along than if you never started. So grab your Allen wrench or whatever your version of that is and take the first step because even a slightly wobbly shelf is better than no shelf at all. All right, let's get practical. You have got a big dream, whether it's starting a business, writing a book, or finally committing to that workout plan that doesn't involve just walking to the fridge, but how do you turn that dream into an action? Enters the smart planning framework. If you have heard of it before, I'm sure you have. Don't worry. I promise this won't feel like another corporate workshop. where Gary from accounting wouldn't stop talking about his golf game, right? So smart goals are like GPS for your dreams. Without them, you're not just driving around aimlessly, you're hoping, just hoping you will stumble upon success. You won't. Success is not a random roadside dinner you accidentally find. It's a destination that you have to map out. So let's start with the first letter S. S for specific. If your goal is as vague as, I just want to be healthier, you're setting yourself for failure. That's like saying, I want to go somewhere fun and then ending up at your cousin's karaoke night. You need to be clear. Say, I am going to walk 10,000 steps a day, or I don't know, I'm going to eat vegetables at every meal. Basically, if your goal sounds like a bad horoscope, you will encounter success in a mysterious way. So please rewrite it. So instead of, I want to work out more, say, I'm going to hit the gym 3 times a week for 30 minutes. Now, you're not just daydreaming, you're making a plan. Next up, M for measurable. Look, I love enthusiasm, but saying I will save some money isn't a goal, it's a wish. And unless you are rubbing a magic lamp somewhere, which I haven't found in 45 years now, wishes don't count. You need numbers, matrix, something you can track. Say, I will have 1,000 bucks in 3 months, and I will drink 8 glasses of water a day. That way, you know if you're winning or if you're just fooling yourself. Think of it like a fitness tracker. If your goal is to get to 10,000 steps and your watch says you have done 853 by noon, it's not judging you, but you probably should take the stairs instead of elevator the next time you walk over. One thing in 25 years of corporate life I've learned, numbers don't lie, people. Numbers just don't lie. Now let's talk about A, achievable. I completely get it. Big dreams are exciting, but saying I'm going to run a marathon next month when you currently get winded walking up the stairs, it's not a goal. That's a trip to the ER waiting. Your goal should stretch you, but not to the point where you're setting yourself for heartbreak or shin splints. Start where you are. If running a marathon is the dream, make the first goal running the 1 mile without stopping. Because you can't win the race if you never leave the starting line. The next one, relevant. R for relevant. This is where you ask yourself, does this goal actually matter to me? Or I am just doing it because it looks good on Instagram. If it does not align with your bigger picture, it's a distraction. Don't waste time climbing the wrong ladder. Unless, of course, that ladder leads to a treehouse because tree houses are awesome. Let's say your big dream is to become a chef, but you're spending all your time learning how to juggle knives. Sure, it looks cool, but is it really helping you towards your goal? Probably not. Stay focused on what truly matters. I still remember last year when I started writing the book, Ascendancy Awakened. I swear, I promise, the first 2 weeks, my swimming pool was the best, shiniest swimming pool available in this county. But it did not help me write the book. Finally, T for time bomb. Deadlines are your best friend. Without a time frame, your goal is just floating in space like an unmoored satellite. Bring it down back to Earth. Say, I'm going to launch my website by June 30th, or I will finish first draft by end of the month. Deadlines turn dreams into commitments, and commitments lead to results. If you ever said, I will do it someday, you know how that story ends. Someday isn't a day on the week. Put a deadline to it and watch what happens. All right, let's put this all together. Instead of saying, I want to grow my business, make it smart and say, I want to increase my revenue by 20% in next 6 months by launching a new product. See, I want to increase my revenue by 20% in next 6 months by launching a new product. That's specific, that's measurable, that's achievable, that's relevant, and it's time bound. You got a plan. And the best part, you don't have to do all of it at once. Build momentum. Maybe today you brainstorm product ideas. Tomorrow you research pricing. The day after you sketch out a marketing plan. It's like building IKEA furniture one Allen wrench turn at a time. And yes, at some point you will wonder why you have extra screws, but hey, progress is progress, right? Now it's your turn. Think about one goal you have been putting off. Something you have been saying, I will get to that eventually. Got it? Okay, here is what I want you to do. Take that goal and run it through the SMART framework. Write it down. Be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And if you are feeling brave, share it with me on social media, LinkedIn, using hashtag SMART goals. I want to see what you're working on. And listen, if your first attempt at SMART goal feels more like a dumb goal, that's okay. Progress is messy. Progress is learning. Learning is not straightforward. It's like trying to teach your dog a new trick. Sometimes they nail it, sometimes they just stare at you like, why are you doing this to me? But the important thing is to keep going because every small step gets you closer to the big dream. All right. Now it's that time in the show where I share a guided practice, something practical, simple, actionable. Anyone can do it. Okay. So grab a pen or just open your note app because let's be honest, that's where you keep everything from your grocery list to your random idea you had for a startup 2 a.m. Let's reverse engineer one of your big dreams into a small, actionable steps. And don't worry, this is not one of those manifest your destiny exercise, not at all, where you just close your eyes and hope for the best. No, this is a practical, real world step. Think of this like putting IKEA furniture together. Sure, the instructions look overwhelming and you probably end up with a couple of extra screws. But if you follow the steps, you will eventually have a functioning bookshelf. Wobbly or not depends on the supplier, or at least something that looks like a bookshelf. First thing, what is the one big thing you want to achieve this year? I know we are already in April and we have only 8 months. Still, write it down. Be specific. Don't say, I want to be successful. That's like telling your GPS, take me somewhere cool. You will end up driving in circles and somehow back at Target buying more candles. So let's say your dream is to write a book. Instead of saying, I want to be a writer, you would write, I want to finish the first draft of my book by December 31st. See the difference? One is a vague dream, the other is a clear, actionable goal. You have already leveled up. Now, let's break it down into milestones. What needs to happen in next 3 months, in next 1 month, and 1 week to make that dream happen? Think of milestones as checkpoints in a video game. You wouldn't try to beat the boss on level 10 without first learning how to jump over the Goombas on level 1, right? Same idea here. If your big dream is finishing that book, your 3 month milestone might be writing 30,000 words. Your 1 month milestone could be outlining the first chapter. And your first week, Just sit down and write the first 500 words that comes to your mind for that book. That's it. No need to overcomplicate it. Milestones keep you on track without overwhelming you. And listen, if you are like me, you might be tempted to skip the milestones altogether and just wing it. But that's how you end up with a half-written book and a Google search history full of how to stay motivated when you're overwhelmed. Trust me, break it down. Or else, in my condition, what happened, I had the best, shiniest swimming pool in first 2 weeks into the program of writing my book. The next part is the best part. You don't have to do all at once. What's one small action you can take today to move closer to your goal? Can be as tiny as sending an email, signing up for that class you have been avoiding, or just opening up blank Word document and writing chapter one. If your dream is to start a side hustle, today's action might be just brainstorming three potential business ideas. If your goal is to get healthier, maybe it's drinking one extra glass of water or doing just a 10-minute walk. Small steps, small steps, small steps, small steps adds up. And hey, if you're struggling to come up with something, just remember, even Googling how to start a side hustle counts as a progress. Unless, of course, you end up getting distracted by cat videos, in which case, try again tomorrow. Here's the thing, progress beats perfection every single time. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. It doesn't matter if that step feels small or insignificant. What matters is that you're moving forward. Think of it like trying to get in shape. You don't start by running a marathon. You start by putting on your sneakers and walking around the block. In my case, just finding the damn sneakers would be the first step. This is the key to start and to keep starting every single day. So take 5 minutes today to define your dream, set a milestone, take one small action, and remember, even if you feel like you're fumbling around the way, you're still miles ahead of person who hasn't started at all. And listen, if this process feels messy, that's okay. Great things are never perfect from start. Just look at Eiffel Tower. Did you know when they first built it, people thought it was an eyesore? Some of it, now it's one of the most iconic landmark in the world. So if your first step feels like awkward or ugly, just tell yourself, I'm building my Eiffel Tower. And then keep going. And of course, when it becomes overwhelming, even to think or where to start thinking and defining, go back to the basics of getting in the present. Take 4 deep breaths. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale again, hold, exhale, hold. Do this 4 times and start writing that first thing that you know in your heart needs to be done. And start with that. So here's a challenge for the week. Pick up one big goal, break it down, and take just one small step. That's it. Don't overthink. Share your goals with me using hashtag think big, start small. This is the week I finally stopped killing my house plan. Seriously, it can be as simple as that. Let me know what you are working on, no matter how big or small. Being able to bring your mind out of autopilot and forcing it to use the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical brain, just for 12 seconds. Full breath, just for 12 seconds, will start the miracle in your life. The miracle of being present, the miracle of being able to think logically, the miracle of not flying on full circle, autopilot, amygdala, which is flight and fright. And I've shared this before. Scientifically, oh, I didn't be geeky today. So let's get a bit geeky here. So what happens again when you're running on autopilot? When you're running on autopilot, your brain is controlled by amygdala, which is your, yes, reaction. So when your body goes into the fight and flight mode, what is the first thing it does? It shuts down consumption of resources from rest of the body. Think about it for a second. Let us think. When your brain gives the order to shut down resource consumption from rest of your body, except for that autopilot flight and fight part of your brain, what's happening? You're not getting nourishment, you're not getting energy. Not just that you're not present, you're not there, period. So, hold deep breath, bring your mind back, focus on the prefrontal cortex that is going to help you make logical, rational decisions. And remember, even the best plans can go sideways. Like, have you ever tried assembling IKEA furniture? You start confident thinking, I've got this. Then suddenly you are 2 hours in, holding an Allen wrench, five screws that don't fit anywhere. I know I keep saying this again and again, and questioning every decision that led you to this moment. But you know what? You eventually get it done. And sure, your bookshelf might lean a little left or right, but it's standing, and that's what matters. That's exactly what goes with goals. Start messy, keep going, and figure it out along the way. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the podcast. If you found this helpful or you just like hanging out with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow the pod so you never miss an episode. And hey, if you are ready to take your goals to the next level, I would love to help. Head over to singleadership.com to learn more about my coaching services. Let's turn your big dreams into reality, one small step at a time. I will see you next week. And remember, big dreams need small steps because progress beats perfection every time. You got this. Have a good day.
Thank you for watching Mindful Leadership Transforming Lives. With me, your host, Singh. We are honored to have you join us on this journey to explore the transformative power of mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and authentic leadership. Tune in every week on transformationtalkradio.com at noon Pacific on Tuesdays, where we will continue to explore how mindful leadership can create a ripple effect of positive changes in your life and lives of those you influence. This show is dedicated to helping you lead with purpose, presence, and passion. Whether you're navigating the complexities of business, building stronger connection with your team, or striving to make a meaningful impact in the world around you. To learn more about the show, access additional resources, or dive deeper, visit singhpowerupcoach.com. Remember, leadership isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are. Let's continue to transform lives together, one mindful moment at a time. See you next week.